You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want the chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch?
Welcome to Rootzones, bringing you the good news and the bad news of crypto. My name is Wayne.
And my name is Manish.
And if you like money in crypto, make sure to hit the subscribe button. So guys, today we have something going on to talk about one of the best crypto project by far, in our opinion, Titano. And we have a special guest from Titano, from the core team. We have David. Let me bring him up.
Very excited to bring in David here.
Hi,
Welcome.
David.
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
My absolute pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for finding the time to really share this project that we ourselves are invested. So just a disclaimer for our folks, we are already investing in Titano. So we love this project and got in touch with David, and David is here to share with us a little bit more of Titano. So David, maybe before we get started, share with us a bit about your background and why you're with the team of Titano.
Excellent, guys. Well, first of all, before I do that, let me say one thing. You guys have a small but growing channel, and one of the things that I talked to the group at Titano about was why this is so important is because some of the things that you guys have in your mission, which is exposing crypto to people that may not normally get a chance to participate, and giving everyone a chance and bringing people in. That's a core part of what crypto is, and that's a core part of what Titano is. So I wanted to be here to talk to you guys in your group and expose you to what we're doing, because I think what we're doing is amazing and can help a lot of people to better their lives.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that first. All right.
Thank you.
So my background is I've been an entrepreneur and a consultant for several decades. Let's put it that way. On 4 different continents. I have consulted companies like Apple Computer. I've consulted companies like Universal Studios, Universal Music, Universal Films, and companies all around the world. Typically in the areas of branding, new business development, and marketing. So my background sort of led me into a lot of different industries, and I got a chance to work with a lot of new and really intelligent and really enthusiastic entrepreneurs to help them to shape their visions. That brought me into crypto. I have a very good friend who's now a crypto whale, and also a great human being. His name is Edward Hickman. And Edward is just last year, he was touted as one of the top 15 people in crypto.
Wow.
And Ed and I actually met on a project. We were going to start a project together, and we just became fast friends. And he kept telling me about crypto. And I was like, oh, Ed, yeah, whatever. Of course, right? Hindsight is 2020. That was in 2014. Wow. And Ed went all in on Bitcoin at that point. I think Ed actually bought his first Bitcoin at 11 cents, to give you an idea.
Wow.
But at any rate, insane. So he opened me up to the idea, and I was so amazed, because the reason he said it was, he said, David, there's a lot of core issues with crypto that really fit into what it is that you talk about with business, being transparent, spreading information, all these sorts of things. At any rate, so around about a year ago, another good friend of mine in London got into crypto. And I said, what is going on with crypto here? And he said, David, trust me, you're going to love it. And then about 6 months ago, he really hounded me. And he said, man, I want to bring your skill set into crypto. And at that point, I became an investor, started getting into crypto. And he and I put together sort of a loose company to look at what I was doing outside of the crypto space and the crypto space, because what I was noticing was there were a lot of great ideas, but too often the entrepreneurs were only thinking about the launch, that big build up to the launch. We're just going to do this IDO or IEO or IFO or IGO or whatever the middle letter is with an O on the end.
Yes.
And then we're going to be off to the races and everything's going to go perfectly. And as we know, guys, that doesn't really happen. At the same time, I was made aware of DeFi and DeFi 2.0, right? So DeFi 1.0 was staking and farming. And it was really interesting to me. And all of a sudden, this DeFi 2.0, and I was looking at it, what is that? And I saw projects like Ohm, and I went, wow, this is amazing. And Terra, amazing. And I began to sort of examine like what was happening there. And I started investing a little bit in all of these projects and watched them go. And then I stumbled on Titano before the launch. And I saw what these guys were talking about, got in the Telegram group, started communicating with them. And two things came out to me. Number one, these guys are really smart. And number two, their approach to what they're doing is radical, but it makes a lot of sense. And I said, oh God, let this be a real project and not a rug pull. Please, God, please. And it was interesting too, because what happened initially, they were gonna list with Pink Slip, I think. And they had this whitelist thing going, and it was a disaster, guys. I mean, nothing worked, which usually is a bad sign. But they came in the group, they explained it. They said, look, guys, scrap all that stuff. We're going to do a fair launch and just launch this thing. And then they launched, and it came out, and it was, it just took off. And then what happened was they did an AMA, and the AMA didn't go well. I'm exaggerating. The AMA went very badly. And I was watching this project that had so much potential kind of sputter because of the communication. And I talked to my buddy and I said, man, we gotta approach these guys. This project cannot fail because of bad communication. So we reached out to the Titano guys and said, listen, let me tell you who we are, what we do. We're great at what we do. We think we can help you. And that started my relationship with Titano.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been amazing.
David, this is like maybe less than a month, because Titano, when it was launched, it was somewhere in 17th of November.
It was the 17th of November. We approached them around, I would say the last couple of days. So maybe November 28th, 29th. We started working with them December 2nd.
Wow.
Yep.
And yeah, this is what our followers, the expression was when we first covered in our channel, and from next day onwards, they started pinging us, are you serious? They are auto staking and auto compounding protocol. They were amazed about this project as well.
David, we've been in this space, I think maybe now for 8 months since we started this channel. A reason we started this channel was to bring education forth. We didn't want to do Patreon. We didn't want to charge people to learn. We believe, like Michael Saylor, right? Education should be free, and we never hold back any secrets. We are transparent with our losses as well as with our wins. And when we came across Titano, I don't know what else to say about Titano, because the idea is so mind blowing that I mean. Yeah, I'm lost for words. I mean, it's so. I really don't want this project to be like the Bitcoin. It has to last for the next 10 years.
Right.
And I want to really see how best we as retailers can support this project. Don't kill the golden goose.
Yes.
Yes. So, what is the team? I mean, you met the team, the founders. What's the vision and the mission?
All right. Well, the team is, and this is really, really important. The team are real developers. These are guys that looked at the industry for a couple of years at cryptocurrency, and particularly at DeFi, and said, this is amazing. This is life-changing. But the challenge is getting people into these protocols is really challenging. You got to do the staking. You got to understand. You don't know there's APY. All this stuff is going on that, on the one hand, is attractive, on the other hand, puts people off. So what they started with was, how do we make this simple for people? How do we make on-ramping simple? How do we make the process simple? How do we make as few moving parts as possible so that people can get involved, gain a benefit, and continue to gain a benefit on and on and on and on and on. So the background is they're all based in Europe.
Okay.
They are 100% dedicated to this, and their mission is similar to you guys. It's about education. It's about providing access to people who might not normally get it. That's the foundation of Titano. And from that, all of this amazing innovation is going to happen. You're going to see it happening. So
Well,
the token is one example of that innovation, right? But the token is just the beginning, and I'll talk more.
right. And I think one common question we always get is that if it's so good to be true, if it's a great project, why remain anonymous?
Okay. Oh, that's a very good question. Okay. So there's several reasons for anonymity, right? One of them is this type of a project draws a lot of attention, and not all of it positive.
Right.
From outside of the crypto industry and from inside of the crypto industry. I can tell you it's coming from everywhere, right? So for me, I don't think that that's fair, right? Let the project stand on its own. If it's
Right.
not a rug pull, let the project fail or succeed on its own. If people love it, let them love it. If not, then that's just how it is. So the idea is to remain anonymous for protection. The
Right.
second thing is a very important thing. If you look at the concept, right, a lot of Olympus and all of these DAOs, they're calling themselves DAOs.
Right.
Well, what is a DAO supposed to be, right? Decentralized autonomous organization. It's supposed to be a situation where everyone involved in the token gets a chance to vote on what happens with the project.
Exactly.
But what will happen is, like, I'm in right now, I'm probably invested in 6 or 7 DAOs.
Same.
And okay, so the ones that are now implementing the DAO part of their business, what's happening is the founders that are making themselves known, like let's say Jade Protocol, they have an outsized input on what's happening. So when people are asked to vote, this guy will come out, the founder's got some strange thing, Einstein will come out and say, listen, I need a vote on this, and you guys can do what you want, but what I think you should do is do this. You see what happens?
Right.
He's skewing the DAO.
Right.
So if these guys came out and said, "Look, we're this, we're that," we're gonna end up getting, hero worship. That's not what Titano is about. Titano is about the project and about the Titans and about you guys. It's not about the founders.
Right. And even looking at Bitcoin also, I mean, till today we some say Satoshi, some say Sergio from Chainlink, some says a recent Australian guy who is
Yes.
actually the founder of Bitcoin. But it doesn't matter because Bitcoin became what it is because of the code.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
so,
And
yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just an exact perfect example. If there was a guy who created Bitcoin and he knew this when he did it, the
Yes.
focus would be all on him and not on the project.
Exactly.
It's about the project. If you have a concern about who the founders are, well, what's your concern? Your concern is that these guys are going to run off with all the money. Well, Titano's done everything to show you that that's not going to happen. And I've
Right.
gone through these conversations before. Well, how do I know it's not a rug pull? Listen, we were at 8.5 cents in 8 days. If you want to know how a rug pull works, when a token shoots up like that, that's when they run away with all the money.
Exactly.
Not when it dies. It went from 8 cents down to 1.9 cents. And what happened? Titano started spending money
Right.
to build the project back up.
Right.
So the proof is, how are they acting on a day-to-day basis? What are they doing? The liquidity is locked for 10 years.
Right.
One audit's been completed by Titano.Finance. We're in a second audit with the top audit firm in crypto,
Yep.
right? CertiK. And let me tell you, it is a major undertaking. It's a learning process. It's a major undertaking. What CertiK does is they say, guys, we got all these problems. We want to help you fix them. So it's a process. We're not
Right.
running away from CertiK. We announced that we're at CertiK. We didn't say, hey, let's see what happens with CertiK and then we'll tell everyone.
Exactly.
We announced it. So this is a real project. So if the anonymity concern is related to what are these guys going to do, what's going to happen, everything's been put in place to show that this is a real project and
Right.
continues to happen on a day-to-day basis.
I really like what you just said. It's not what people say, it's what they do.
That's
and I
right.
think that doing that action of the, how they actually create that price stability even after a certain price action has actually dropped, that already tells, the mission, and yeah, you're right. It's congruent to what they are actually stating and what they are doing. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
And,
yeah,
yeah.
Manish.
Yeah, one interesting thing which I found about this project, there are so many DAO projects we have it. It's almost like a similar kind of ideas, but the new kind of look and feel and the websites are different.
Yes.
But this is something amazing that people comes very new in this crypto industry and just wanted to buy it, and there is no work at all here, right? You just need to buy it
Right.
and hold it.
Right.
So
That's
this is the
correct.
amazing part of this project.
You buy, you hold, and you take a vacation. Go to the
That's
beach.
Yeah,
right. And
you
you
go on a
earn.
vacation and just keep checking it, and it's kind of passive income for you. It depends how much you have invested, and it's kind of every day you're getting it on your wallet.
Absolutely.
Marvels keep on coming.
Absolutely.
So David,
Yes.
this question on the APY, I'm looking here. You know, is what auto staking, auto compounding, the highest fix. This
Yes.
word fixed APY at 102,000%. How is that possible?
How is that possible? Okay. Great question. It's possible based on math, right? That number, 102,483.58, is the number that came out. Now remember, these projects utilize different elements in order to create it. Like what's behind all of these projects is something called protocols, right? They're all
Right.
protocols. Protocol consists of two things, right? There's the financial algorithms that make everything work together. And then there's the processes that you need to go through in order to get the benefit. As an example, in order to get the benefit from Ohm, you have to stake on Ohm's platform,
Right.
right? So that's part of the protocol. On some of these bonding that they offer, in order to get the benefit, you have to stake your tokens for a particular period of time, right? Or there's a major penalty. So that's part of the protocol. So what happens is all of the elements relating to the protocol, right? The token, the RFV, the treasury, the fees in the case of Titano, and then the other things that I mentioned, how you do it, they all go into a formula. And then a number gets put out. Now, depending on what you want to have happen in terms of how you want to focus your project, that number will change. So for Titano, the goal was to offer a really high fixed APY. And that's the number that came out.
Man,
Okay.
interesting part is 30
Yes.
minutes and
But
48 times really.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys are excited.
Yeah, we are, and you know this. Also, it correlates to the supply. There's the word in the document they talk about the elastic supply.
Yes.
What does that mean? Does it mean that he can you know move or even with the burn? You know how does that
Yes.
fits in?
Okay, so it's an elastic token, right? So the token so the staking rewards are tokens that get added to the supply. This is not new in crypto, right? This same thing happens with Ethereum as an example. Ethereum has an elastic supply. The protocol is designed to manage that elastic supply. So currently, Titano has about 90% of its tokens locked, right? So there is another 8.5% staked. And please don't hold me specifically to these numbers. I'm giving you generalities. So there's a floating 2.5%. Anytime Titano goes above 2.5% floating, then there's a buyback and burn. Below that, the supply continues.
Okay.
So this is necessary in order to maintain the rebase rewards and to provide again that fixed APY.
Right, and there's a difference between a lot of people get these two words mixed up: rebase versus reflection.
Right. Reflection would be if Titano said every time we do a buy and a sell, we give you a percentage of that buy and sell directly into your wallet, right?
Right.
But it's not compounded, right? So it's just a percentage of that. What Titano is saying is we're guaranteeing you a consistent rebase reward 48 times a day. Let me add something to this, guys, because it's really important.
Right.
People focus on the APY.
Mm.
APY is not the important thing to focus on because APYs can be manipulated. I'll
Right.
give you an example. I did this earlier today. If you go to Time Wonderland right now, Time Wonderland currently has a 65,000% APY.
Right.
It's about. And they are paying out 9.29% over a 5-day period. That's
Right.
what Time Wonderland is paying. So see, it's at 65,000 for, if you hit the staking, you hit
Right.
stake, it'll tell you what it's paying.
I
Right?
have to, yeah.
I think you might, okay. Yeah, anyway, so trust me, it's 9.299%.
Right.
If you went to Invictus,
Mm.
Invictus is another DAO project that unfortunately I'm invested in as well.
Oh, this is actually.
I'm going to talk about these Ohm and these Ohm forks in a minute, but
Let's
Other-
see, Invictus. Yeah, here we go.
right. So if you go to Invictus, great
Yeah.
project by the way. But if you look at Invictus, Invictus has a 31,622 is its. It went down a little bit.
APY.
That's its APY. But if you look at at what it's paying out, its ROI in 5 days, it's 8.2%. So how could Time be more than 2 times the APY, yet it's only paying out about 1% more? The reason is, guys, is that you can manipulate your APY. So you can say, I'm going to pay you over a 5-day period, but the bulk of your 5-day period will be paid. This is just one example.
Right.
On the very last 2 minutes of that 5 days. So if
Got
you're
it.
on stake, 4 days, 23 hours, and 18 minutes, you may be getting a much less than
Less.
that 65,000, way less.
Exactly.
So look at what Titano says. Titano says you get paid 0.0039% every rebase period, every 30 minutes.
30
You get
minutes.
1.899% every single day.
Wow.
There's no
40
manipulation of
48
the
times.
APY. 48 times a day. So that's the difference. That's one of the difference. We're not manipulating the APY. Since we're talking about Ohm and its forks, can I say a little bit more?
Yeah, please go
Okay,
ahead.
first and foremost, I love those projects.
Yeah.
I love those projects. But there is a very different sort of approach between what Ohm is doing and Titano's doing. And to be clear, Titano is based on some elements of Ohm. There's
Right.
amazing parts of Ohm. But there's a fundamental difference, and the fundamental difference is being displayed in live detail right now. The question is, what is the objective of the project? Is it to serve the token holders, or
Right.
is it to serve the project? Great example. Please go to go back to go to Spartacus.
Spartacus. Spartacus. Yes, I'm in Spartacus also.
I'm in Spartacus too. We should go out and have a beer and cry on each other's shoulders.
Oh my God, Spartacus. Let's see. The Spartacus DAO.
Wow. So I think we are. Our audience will see there are many more DAO projects.
Oh,
There's many more DAOs, but I
there are
think
many.
David will share the difference.
Yeah,
There are
they
many-
will share
yep.
the difference.
Okay. Now, go back to that first page. That first page you on first of all. Okay, so here, when I got into Spartacus, I think it was 300 million APY, 300 million percent. It's down
Yes.
to what is that? 319. Okay. So go now to the page where you're just showing the dashboard. Okay. So if you look at the price of Spartacus, what you'll see is that it's $23. Now, I was under the impression, and most people were, that the price could not go below the backing price.
Yes.
What
Yes.
happened? It's
Exactly.
less than half of the
Yes.
backing price.
Right.
Okay. I was also under the impression that if that in fact did happen, the APY would shoot up to some astronomical number,
Correct.
causing people to come in and buy the project to move the token price up.
Exactly.
What happened? You know what happened?
What
If you
happened?
take a look,
This we
on
have
the
seen
left,
in Time Wonderland also.
all of them. If you,
All.
it's in the protocol. If you take a look at the left, remember these projects benefit. These projects pay out based on selling bonds.
Yeah,
If you look at the bond rates, they're negative.
the negative.
And look at them, negative 80%. No one's buying bonds. So what does the protocol do? The protocol protects the treasury, not the staker. You
Interesting.
see what I mean? What does the staker want? I want that number to go back above that backed amount,
Right.
right? So I can make more.
And this- Yeah,
I'm
David,
sorry,
this
one more
was
thing.
the-
So what the
sorry.
protocol says is we have to protect that treasury. So we're gonna pull down the APY, pay people less and less and less to protect the treasury.
Wow.
So the challenge I have with these projects is they're not interested in me. So what
Yeah.
are they all doing right now? Everyone's in an uproar. Well, wait a minute. You've got $30 million sitting in your treasury and you're not paying it out to stakers. And what are they
Exactly.
going? Oh, well, we're going to figure out a way where we'll go and buy and burn, or we'll give you guys a one-time payment, all of these different things. It should be built in the protocol to protect the people that have given you money. That's the fundamental difference between Ohm Forks and what's happening with Titano.
Yeah, a very powerful statement, David, that you make, especially for our viewers. This backing price, actually, Jade recently has actually published that most of these DAOs in the protocol, the backing as per their website is not true.
No.
It's not hard-coded. It's just a marketing kind of way that they put it in. This is not to discourage any, any projects out there. It's just to bring about awareness so that you be educated to make proper decisions and know the difference when it's hard-coded in the protocol to protect you as a retail investor rather than their interests. I mean, it works both ways, right, David?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me say to you guys, because I've done the research, and every single Ohm and Ohm fork, do you know the floor price? Do you guys know?
No.
It's $1 US.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, you know
Yes.
that. With time,
Right.
it's one mem. A mem is
Yes,
a stable
one mem.
coin. With Ohm, it's one DAI. A DAI is a stable coin.
Yes.
That's the floor price of these Ohm and Ohm project, Ohm stakes, Ohm forks. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I found out when all of a sudden I saw these prices plunging. And here's another thing. And I'm not bashing these projects, and people should make their own decisions. But I would have thought that in this type of an environment, right? We are right now in the common crypto market. We're in a ranging market. Everybody likes to talk about, man, it shot up, it went down like crazy. Most of the time in a project it's the market ranges.
Right.
Well, you'd have thought that people would go, hey, I don't want to risk my money. I want to run to these projects. It's not happening. So I just say, if the protocol's not working, and again, I'm in all of them, and I'm in 6 or 7 of them.
Right.
You have to look at that reality. You don't make excuses for the project. You can just say, I expected to be here, have a high APY, have my money protected somewhat, and now both of those things are gone. Why am I here? All right, enough Ohm bashing. Sorry about that, guys.
No, it's not. But I'm also myself and Manish. We are almost in 5 DAOs, and we saw, that we were trying to find a correlation between the bear
we
market.
were discussing about this. No, we were discussing about this. That okay, why this backing price is mentioned? Is it correct, or is it something that we have to further research on it?
The only
we
way
discussed
to
about
research
it.
this is to get a hard coder dev to look at GitHub, take out the codes and run
that's
it
what
through.
this thing was also there in my mind. If you see this kind of DAO project, it's very easy to create.
Yes.
Because it's almost similar across.
Yes,
of course.
But look at that. These are the unique ideas which you need a developer work here.
Correct.
Yeah, so David, coming back to this,
exactly right.
Riding on what Manish is saying, where was the angle that that separated? We took some. It looks like Titano had some elements of the DAO.
Yes, absolutely. It's very simple, guys. It was focused on the people giving you the money. When you go to that DAO, right now, if you go to all of these DAOs, if you go in their groups and you say, hey, what happened to the APY? And people, what's the response? Well, look, guys, if you came here for the APY, we're a long-term project. Guys, you told me we were going to get 2 million%. And now you're telling me I shouldn't have come for the 2 million%?
Exactly.
People are coming because they want a constant APY. So Titano said that's what they're interested in. Let's start with that. Can we give a consistent high APY that doesn't change and create a protocol around the APY? What do we fix? We fix the APY, which means a lot of the other things cannot be fixed.
Right.
But the APY can. So we can guarantee your value that it won't change and be consistent over time.
Awesome.
That's the fundamental difference in Titano. That's what they looked at. When you say, well, what did they look at? Because they saw some great things there with OWN. And
Of
it's
course.
great having an RV, although their RV is different than ours, and then having a treasury to back some of the token price. All those sorts of things are wonderful, but it's the focus of the project. What's the focus of the project? The focus of Titano is to bring value to those Titano token holders. That's what this is. It's not to build some massive treasury, right? People now calling these projects, these own forks, they're crowdfunding. These guys have these tens of millions or hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in their treasury, and now they're going to tell you what they're going to do with all that money.
Exactly.
That's not what Titano's agenda was. People are coming, they want value, they want ease of use. That's what we're going to give them.
Wow,
That's
this
what
is a
Titano
game changer, David, because
Amen.
you're right. The consensus was that this is one of the easiest way to raise money without getting into the legalities, because you have to open a corporation,
That's right.
you have all these people, and you just have to take a code from OHM, throw it into the DeFi space, and then it's like, money will just
have
pour
a
in.
$5 billion APY and people start running.
Exactly. And then if the project fails, at least you know.
And you know, the people in the market crazy hunting for this kind of project without swing with it, without seeing the pros and cons. They just see the high APY. Hey, let's do it.
That's right.
And they don't understand. That's why I got caught with when I saw this word fix, because none of the DAO mentioned this, and I didn't know how it would actually. So it started with this idea, and then we built and it's from scratch, right?
From scratch. This is Titano's code. They didn't copy it from anyone.
You can see also, Wayne, because this is the project itself is a unique idea. I don't think so you will get it a similar kind of code.
And it's great to know that they build it from scratch rather than just copying from GitHub.
Absolutely.
The intent of this project, that's the distinction, and that's the value proposition for you guys who are watching this. So tell me a bit more, David, on the risk-free value. How is it different?
The risk-free value is actually the word is the phrase is sort of a deceptive phrase. The risk-free value is simply the algorithm that Titano uses to calculate its rebase rewards. That's what that is. So there is a separate wallet where fees are collected and put into that wallet, right? And as a result of this algorithm that it uses, it's able to pay out the rewards. Now, the risk-free value can also be supported by the treasury in the event of the token having a steep drop. So both of these things together function to support the price of Titano and to pay out rebase rewards to everyone who's staking.
Right, and also does the buyback comes from the treasury also?
The buyback would the buyback in the event that there's too much Titano, there will be a buyback that happens by the treasury. Correct. That's one of the functions.
So it's either way, right? Either they burn or buy back, but just to keep the price stable.
That's correct.
And so that it will just grow to the point, because some people have this in mind. If everybody is putting in this money and the mechanism, it works as a machine, right? It's fuel in the machine and based on math. How can it constantly go on forever? Because my coins are duplicating and yet the price action is moving.
Right. Okay. That's a very, very good fundamental question. And it goes back to, I think, the nature of cryptocurrency, right? So every cryptocurrency starts out with a dream, with an idea. This is what we want to become. Right. And then they have to implement a way for people to interact with that idea, right? So with Titano, the goal is to create this idea, this larger idea, starting out with giving people value. Now, in order for that value to be realized, like every crypto, like every business, there has to be new customers.
Yes.
Now, there's a misconception, right, about Titano. And the misconception is we have to keep bringing in new people and new people and new people, right? That's partially true. But what's more important than adding new people is the transactions. See, transactions are what create fees, whether you buy or sell.
Right.
So what happened with DeFi 2.0 is two important elements got added. Actually, one got added, and the second one is kind of my thing, but I think it applies to all of these. And the first thing is game theory. Right? So game theory says that if you and I are playing a game and we realize that, wait a second, if I played together with that person, I would get farther in the game, I'm likely to do that. I'm likely to take that course of action. So that weighs heavily onto Titano, right?
Yes.
People are looking at everyone else and everyone's going, hey man, don't unstake. Hey man, don't do this. Hey man, don't do that, because we all benefit if we all work together.
Yeah.
Right. That's number one. The second thing is human nature. What is human nature? Human nature is, you see, if I put $1,000 in Titano today, if I purchase, a year from now, I'm going to have $1 million. All things being equal. Right? All things being equal, rebates, rewards being able to be paid out, all of those factors, blah, 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 blah. But what happens during that year? You start seeing your tokens rising, the value of your tokens rising, and you come up along these milestones where, oh my gosh, I've got that 1,000 turned into $10,000. Should I take my money out? Should I take some of my money out? Is this thing going to last? Is it going to go on? That's the human nature element.
Yes.
So what you find is that very few people will actually make it to a year. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing because how you should look at Titano, I think, this is my own personal opinion, is not as that big payoff in the end, but it's a way to get smaller payoffs all along the road.
Exactly.
Right? Go in and go out, go in and go out, go in and go out. And if that part of human nature holds, then we'll constantly get fees, constantly get transactions. And the more that happens, the longer this project will go until infinity. But let me say, I'm giving you guys one. Remember, Titano, the company, is not just Titano, the token.
Right.
Titano, the company, created a protocol that created this token, but ultimately, the protocol itself is flexible and will be used in an economy. It's not just this token. The token is the foundation, or one of the foundation pieces of the economy. So what's our job is to create the Titano economy. And what we hope is that people will see and participate and go, wow, these guys bring me value, and realize that every other part of our economy that you take part in, you're going to get value.
Awesome. And
that's the equation.
Yeah. And to touch on what David has said, just for our viewers, talking about 1,000. So today's current price of Titano is about 15 cents. I put in here, this is on CoinMarketCap, $1,000. Let me just put $1,000. You would get about 6,493 tokens. And I'm just going to go to Titano. There's a calculator here. By putting in this, you can see that $1,000 would reap you in 7 days, maybe an extra $129. 1 month, $700. 6 months, your 1,000 would have been 31,000, and in 365 days, guys, it will be close to $1 million. So
the power of compounding.
The power of compounding. And the power of compounding, for those of you, somebody's told me, oh, let's run away before 30 days, let's run away at 60 days because I can't wait for 365 days. That kind of thinking, guys, only limits the situation, because the power of compounding, as Einstein said, and in mathematical terms, only starts to explode after 200 days. Right. So put in money that you can afford to lose, and like what David has also pointed out, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You can't get this kind of fixed APYs in the world right now being paid out 48 times. It sounds crazy, and when people say that it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I beg to differ. My personal opinion, I'm putting my life savings inside here. I'm just hypothetically saying that, but
let your money work for yourself.
I'm investing in this because
putting somewhere or just holding it's not going to work out for you, right? So definitely
what I always
take
say,
advantage of your compounding.
I'm sorry, Manish. What I always say is, if if when people say this is too simple and too good to be true,
Right.
I say that is a testament to the developers at Titano.
I love it. Beautifully
Because
said.
that is,
Beautifully
believe me, what you guys see as the front end user interface, there is a whole range of things going on behind the scenes that combine create this simplicity.
Right.
that
We
you
look
see.
at economic incentives, human
Yeah.
behavior,
Oh,
the fight and
absolutely.
flight, the mathematical equations. You know, this was
Absolutely.
all that some genius,
Thing.
a group of people came in to develop what we know now
And
as
code in
Bitcoin.
inclusion.
You get that same intelligence and in hard coded for Titano.
So
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
belongs from
Well
a
said.
technology background, so we do understand what kind of efforts the developers would have put in, because
Yes.
it's not any other DAO project. It's
Right.
something that
That's
is
right.
really smart.
That's right.
And yeah, so that's I
The
can
end
see
user,
that a
Manish,
lot
may
of
not see
efforts.
that value proposition.
Yeah.
They may not
Right.
see the amount of whiteboard going in, designing the thing, coming up with the intent, the mission, creating the whole script to make it work mathematically, as well as taking in, you know, the fears and the, you know, and making that transaction, that, you know, that mechanic movement of that money of buy and sell to generate this machine to become, you know, where you can just take a step back and the machine will run by itself.
But
Right.
I'm sure
Very well
now
said.
this project is live now, and probably many more projects similar to this, they'll try to copy the ideas,
Of course.
but
Right.
original always stay original.
Yeah, the original will be Titano, right? And that's where we always will go. There will be many forks out of this project in time to come, that's for sure. But I believe
Right.
Titano will not stop there. I think you know, that's why
That's
David
right.
is here to share on that roadmap. David, one question that came up, you know, the buy and sell of course based on the documentation, we say buy at 13% slippage and sell at 22. But is there a reason sometimes the prices is not fixed and it ranges?
Yes. The buy and sell are 13 and 18%. So 13% to buy and 18%. And quite often, right? Because remember, as you guys know, we're going through pancake swap.
Right.
Anything additional to that is pancake swap. But here's
Oh.
what's important to know. If you, and you should, if you check when you buy and you sell, it'll always be 13% and 18%. Your slippage might change. You might have to put in 16% slippage,
Right.
but if you check your tokens and what was taken out, it'll be 13%. Same thing when you sell.
Okay, I got it. So
But-
so
Okay,
it's
so
okay.
But
Yeah, that's a
being
very
in a
important point.
Binance Smart Chain, these slippages are still very negligible compared to Ethereum network. When you will be in Ethereum, you have to pay a lot more gas fees.
Right.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
David, one question. You know, this protocol itself, of course, there's certain costs. It's like running a business. Are there, you know, is the buy and sell that actually helps to keep, I mean, the people behind the scenes, you know, taken care of, the project, the you know, the company that they run?
Yes,
Is
absolutely.
there any other ways that they generate revenue?
Well, as you know, there's 5%. The 5%, a portion that goes to the treasury, is also used for things so like new development. We got new projects being developed, and
Right.
we've also got a lot of marketing going on all the time. We're continuously marketing. So a portion of those fees are spent to continually develop the project and market. Other than that, no other fees are being taken out. It was a fair launch. There was no pre-sale. There was no private sale. There was nothing like that.
Love
There's
it.
nobody holding anything. If you see people with large amounts of Titano, it's because that's what they bought. That's what they purchased.
Right, right. I mean, we had a few, and even if whales come in, it actually helps. The protocol helps to protect against whales.
That's right.
We benefit by being hodlers, and
Right.
right. And guys, I mean, for those who are watching this, you know, don't kill the golden goose, right? It's like Titano. If you ever had needed to take profit, a simple rule could be a 60-40 or 80-20. Always reinvest back into the project, because you are making 20% or 30%. You know, it's just the way Rootzones is, because when we support projects, we want to keep it alive for the longest possible time, right? So and the whole idea is all of us you know, are in the crypto community. We are trying to find that wealth and financial freedom. You can't get that in any of the other asset class. If you can, please write to me personally. Let me know which asset class. Gold, forex, options. I've tried it all. We have in real estate
Yeah.
also. And And when we come to a crypto space, yes, there's 16,000 over cryptos, 400 over exchanges. You find the diamond in the rough. To me personally, we love Titano.
And we and Rootzones, we don't just invest in any other projects. We see the project which is we passionate about with
Yep.
the
Right.
the uniqueness it has it, and then we invest it. Yeah.
Right. So we really
Excellent,
appreciate
guys.
David, for
Excellent.
really coming here and really sharing that. Will Titano be listed on the central
Yeah,
CeFi
this
exchanges?
I also
This,
had this in my mind, and I'm
yeah,
sure everyone would be also waiting for this answer also.
absolutely. The roadmap, it's interesting. Absolutely, we will look at being listed on central exchanges. The question is when and how. I am involved in another project that's an amazing project that's built on. It's called crypto. It's called Anafa. It's crypto for 100. They want to bring 100% of the people in the world into crypto,
Wow.
and they listed on an exchange, and it was a disaster. And the reason is that small projects that go to exchanges are held up at gunpoint. It's tricky, right? Because it's a balance of, do you have enough volume
Yeah.
to cut a good deal with the exchange? Because the
Right.
exchange is only doing it because they want to make money on fees,
Right.
right? That's why they're doing it.
Exactly.
In addition to that, the exchange is going to dictate what you can and you can't have. There are going to be a lot of exchanges, as an example, particularly the big ones, that don't like the fees.
Right.
So what I will say about it is, yes, it's a goal, but it's going to have to be, like everything else, handled very, very carefully so that we
Right.
don't collapse the protocol.
Right. I really agree on that point, because I will not mention the project that we are in. And what happened was that initially they also started off without listing on the central exchange, and they were doing great. They got that volume, but then they wanted to tap into tier one VC venture capitalists, and they had to get that token listed on the
Right.
central exchange. And when that happens, they had to remove the reflection. They had to
Right.
comply with certain guiding principle. And after that, it felt that when we as retailers benefited, and retailers also, David, if you agree, we make up most of the market share, about 80%,
Yes.
right? About the other
Yes,
10% is
absolutely.
institutions, and 10% is whales. So I felt that the project kind of moved, and I hope that Titano,
And
again,
also,
yeah.
when this kind of project, right, when it goes to exchange, it lose the beauty,
Yes,
the
totally
beauty it
agree.
comes with.
I totally agree.
Because it will be tied to in their protocol, in their rules,
Yes.
regulations, and
Yeah.
Yes.
everything. Will not have that freedom what we
Yes.
have it here.
What I like
This
about
is
the freedom
correct.
is just my wallet and the app. That's it. No
That's it.
middleman.
That's it.
No middleman.
I agree. I agree.
David, for Titano Treasury, will there be some governance? That means people can vote or no?
Yes, if you look on a roadmap, there
Okay.
is definitely in a roadmap that we will create a DAO. Right, this is
Wow.
a project
Okay.
for the people. Now, I'm one of the people that believes you have to be very careful with a DAO. Right, there's this idea that if you let everyone vote, things are going to get better. Well, I'd like for you to take a look at the United States
Yeah.
and tell me right now if that's always true. The
Yeah.
key is that whatever structure is instituted, it should be for the better benefit of the token holders. Right now, Titano needs to be managed by people that understand the vision and how to execute it.
Wow. Yeah.
That's how this project should be. And I would argue, if my opinion was asked, that should be the case until we reach a point of complete and absolute stability. Then we can talk about instituting a DAO. But I agree with the DAO idea, but I just think when and how you do it. I mentioned earlier that one situation where it's one of the own forks, and they have a quote unquote DAO, but the owners are so heavy handed
Right.
that it's really just a way for them to say, hey, see, the group did it, but it's really what they wanted to do. So it has to be instituted properly. It has to be instituted fairly. And what's happening now is people are able to communicate and say, hey, listen, the way our groups are set up, every concern that everyone has is being communicated. All the moderators are being told, if you see a problem, bring it. If you see people talk, bring it, bring it,
Right.
bring it, bring it, bring it. And it's being instituted. So, and that will continue. That will never, ever stop. And it'll become more and more part of what Titano is. But until we reach that point where there's complete and absolute stability, we want to keep the decision making in the hands of the people that are bringing the value.
Amen. I totally agree. I totally agree. And I think so far they've been doing a great job. Again, this is by far the best project I've seen. And you have Rootzones 100% support anytime. Just let us know. What is Price Link Saving Account? I saw it on PLSA.
Okay. Our next project that we're introducing is called Titano Play.
Okay.
And although I am limited about how much of it I can tell you about,
Okay, sure.
but what I can say is that it's based on the foundations of it come from a project called the Price Link Savings Account. What a Price Link Savings Account is in America, they wanted to. America has an issue with people saving money, right? People love to buy things they hate to save.
Right.
So some brilliant people in banking came up with this idea, a way to gamify savings. And it worked. And then Harvard studied it and said, oh my gosh, that's really interesting. It got people to hold on to their money more. And then they went to Congress, and Congress said, we're going to allow it. So now it's in 33 states in the United States.
Right, and Congress will allow it because as what Kiyosaki says, right? Savers are losers because when you save in the bank, they can print more, right? 10x the money.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I was exactly saying. So now take the foundations of that and put it in the DeFi space. Take the brilliant developers at Titano, and they're using that foundation to create something new. And it's coming, guys. And it's amazing, guys.
And the glimpse of this play is already there in your
yes,
the white book, I think. So the white paper.
It's coming. It'll be what's happening now. There are two projects being worked on right now. One is Titano Play, and the other one is the version 2.
We are also excited about it, David. Just to let
so
you know, that play.
In the next app, in the V2 of the app, you'll see the Titano Play. It'll be in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the V2 new dashboard, new change to this. David, what is will NFT be included in this?
NFTs will not be included in the new app, but NFTs are on our roadmap. And let me say for a second. Okay, so I've got to include something here, guys. Bear with me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm pulling something up. Okay, so NFTs are coming, and here's what's important to know about NFTs Titano style. Any project we introduce will revolutionize that particular industry. So we're not just interested in introducing an NFT. We're interested in making the NFT space a little bit better and a little bit different, right? So we've got big plans for NFTs. And I have to say one thing about it. We are all for one and one for all. The galaxy is falling into darkness and the Legion is on the way.
Awesome. Wow. Looks like we're going to unite the tribe. It's like a...
This NFT will be in Titano platform itself, not in OpenSea or any other marketplace. So yeah, we'll wait for that.
Still to be determined how we do it, and that's another area, guys. And that is what my partner and I are working on, partnerships for Titano. I believe that partnerships are critical for success in this industry.
Totally agree.
And we've got a couple coming, and when you see them, you're going to be very excited. Very excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've seen some merchandise also in your roadmap. So all the best for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy.
I'm also gonna buy this and then come on our live stream.
Come on our live and just self-proclaim it to the world.
I'll make sure that you guys get some. It's on me, 100%.
Awesome. David, can I ask, is there a price prediction? Now, for our folks, any price prediction, nobody has the crystal ball, right? But it's always good to know if that. David, in your opinion, is there a price prediction for Titano?
Wow. Okay, first of all, guys, I do not give financial advice.
Sure.
And I know you guys don't either. This is just for education.
Yes.
Price, as we know, is one of the most difficult things to predict because there's so many factors, some of which you have control of, most of which you don't. I used to be I used to trade Forex. Wow. And Forex is great because fundamental analysis has a minimal role in forex, right? You can, if you know technical analysis, how to read the candles, how to look at patterns, you can do really well, and you have discipline. Let me add, but in crypto, fundamental analysis is as important an element as anything else that's going on, right? So when I watch technical analysis traders talk about, well, we're forming a bull flag, or we're forming a rising wedge, and then all of a sudden it goes the exact opposite way because some whale decided he was going to dump 50,000 Bitcoin.
Right.
You know, so with that being said, price is extraordinarily difficult to predict. But let me say this. Here's what's interesting. What I do is I examine sort of the fundamentals around things. And it's really interesting to me. If Bitcoin, so here's a couple of ways to look at this. If Bitcoin goes up to what everyone is saying, which is 100,000,
right?
This is just me talking, right? Just me, not this is Titano. What'll happen is that people have a lot of extra money. You guys know how the money flows. It flows from Bitcoin to the big altcoins to the smaller altcoins.
Right.
So people should have a lot more money if that happens, and that money should flow down.
Right.
Now, if Bitcoin goes down, people should be looking for places to secure their investment.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I could see two different scenarios, and Titano has the potential to do well in both.
Yes.
What does that
and we
mean?
have seen that, David, we have seen that in the last 7 days. How many X, since the launch, this thing went, while everybody was talking about winter, Titano was strong, right?
That's right. That's right. So price prediction, I can't say, and even if I felt I could, I wouldn't do it. But what I can say is I think we're going to weather the times well, no matter what those times are.
Awesome. Very awesome. David, if someone, you were to interview in the crypto space, right? Someone you like, you work and admire, who would it be and what would you ask?
Awesome question, man. This is
that is a great question. And it's funny, oddly enough, that's a question that I asked the guys because I wanted to get a sense of how they thought and where they're coming from. And the guy and who they said that they would be most interested, or one of the people that they really admired, is the guy that started Binance.
Oh, CZ.
Oh, CG.
Yeah, absolutely, CZ. And the reason is just how he's built this brilliant future with a really, really solid foundation on it.
Yes.
It's really, the thinking that went into it. For me, I'm a bit, you guys probably can hear, I'm a bit more of like a philosopher and all of that sort of stuff. So for me, it's Charles Hoskinson.
Oh man.
Founder
of Cardano.
Oh man, I will listen to his 1.5 hour just sessions of him talking. He's brilliant. He's a dreamer. He's not afraid to take on all of this stuff and talk about it. He's a guy that could, sell everybody and everything out, but he's holding on. I just watched a video by him talking about how everyone's pushing him to put it out, let it break, and then get everyone's money and then fix it. And he's like, we're not doing that. And I just admire people who are in a position, like I talked with you about my guy, Edward Hickman, right? Ed's loaded, but he decides I'm going to start a project, David, put my own money in it, and I'm going to build this thing up and get everyone into crypto. And so those are the people that I admire. And that's one of the things that I admire about Titano. All our discussions always go around when it's a key decision to be made is what's the best decision for the group.
Right. Yep. And I really admire and praise the team, especially as the founder and the creator who we have not met. Thank you for doing this for the crypto community. Not just it really is. What we really want to see is really projects to be sustainable, to really change the wealth, and we were in the model of an hourglass, right, David? I think you know the rich and the poor, and it was so difficult to get a barrier to entries, into any investment. Prevented anybody. We can study so hard. I mean, I took 20 years to study this. I mean, since 1995 when I first met Kiyosaki here in Singapore, and together with his partners.
Wow.
And his neighbor, Kiyosaki's neighbor, Bellam Tan, is my neighbor. We live across each other. and I never knew that. I mean, it's a long story short. But since that time, I've always been looking at cash flow opportunities, and never had a chance until we came into the crypto space sometime in April this year. And when we came across Titano, I'm like mind blown. I said, are you sure this is for real? And I love the project, guys. I mean, I really love it. Yeah, that's all.
And in initial days, we were also lost in a CeFi space. Then gradually we started exploring about the DeFi's, and then we come across this kind of pioneer projects, and then we started investing here, and then we started getting benefits as well.
Yeah, and we want to keep this project alive. So, David, last question for you. I know you are a busy man. You have to work with all this communications. What is the future of crypto, and especially in the context of Web 3.0?
That's enough. Boy, you guys have some great questions. Wow. All right. So Web 3.0 focuses on the fact that things will go from a centralized internet to a decentralized internet. And, am I a believer in that? Absolutely. I want to tell you guys a little story. Hopefully it'll be funny. So if you think about a little bit more than 100 years ago and you went to New York City, the popular mode of transportation was the horse. Right. Everyone had horses, and they were riding around the city, right into their homes. They had stables and barns and all this sort of stuff and horses. Well, if you think about it, think about a horse. What does a horse do extraordinarily often? I don't know if you guys have been around horses, but they
I've been.
They poop. They poop all the time. They poop
and
when
they
they're
pee.
standing there. They poop when they walk. They poop when they blah, blah, blah. So I would imagine that New York City in 1899 smelled like horse poop.
Very interesting. Yes.
On top of that, everybody had horse poop on their shoes. You couldn't get away from it. If you walked in the street, if you walked on the sidewalk, you had poop. Now imagine a housewife, and her husband's coming home, and he's about to walk in the house, and she goes, "You better take those boots off outside." Even if he did, he probably got a little bit on his pants, so everybody's house smelled like horse poop. Now, imagine this couple having dinner with one of their friends, and they go to their friend's house, and the house doesn't smell like horse poop. And the wife looks at the other wife and says, "How come your house doesn't smell like poop?"
I'm going to remember this story lifelong.
She says, "Honey, we just bought an automobile. We bought a car." That lady turns to her husband and says, "We're buying one of those things." The story is, what I'm trying to say is, innovation is inevitable.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter all of the but those things are dangerous and they catch fire and I love my horse and all those things. Innovation that causes real change, that causes new benefits is inevitable.
Yes.
And so Web 3.0 and crypto is inevitable. I like to say we're already there. We're just in those throes of trying to fight. Like, imagine when the car came out, you probably had horse and buggy manufacturers who found out that a lot of it was about the pollution, the horse pollution.
Yes.
And what would they do? They said, if you buy my buggy, there's a perfume bottle on it that comes with the buggy with a lifetime supply of perfume, where it just automatically, every time the wheel rotates, it sprays. So you don't smell the horse poop anymore. There are all these people trying to hold everyone back, but the innovation, that's crypto.
Yeah.
That's blockchain. You can't go back. However, as you guys know, we're fighting against the most entrenched and the most powerful industries in the world.
Yes, we are.
But it's inevitable, guys. So Web 3.0 is going to come because it unlocks value. It unlocks all this value that was previously held or that currently is being held in a small group of hands.
Right.
In a small group of hands. People are asking, David, are you able to pay this amazing APY? Because that's what's in the system. That's what's been locked up that we just never had access to. The system's being broken open. The system's being completely renovated by guys who don't have any connection to the last system. We don't have to bring any of that legacy stuff. It's a clean slate. How would you do this if you wanted to benefit people. What would you
Right.
build? You wouldn't build that. You wouldn't
Right.
build a bank. You wouldn't build all of these systems where if I want to go send money to you, I have to go through all of these invisible back systems. And, you know,
Exactly.
so this
Exactly.
is what you're seeing. You're seeing it unlocking. So what's my prognosis? What do I think? This has happened already, guys. It's
Yep.
going to be, there's going to be fits and starts and government regulation and
Of
all of
course.
these things are going to happen, but this is impossible to stop.
Right.
Impossible.
You can't stop the technology. It's here. It's integrated, and especially when it's going into the decentralized stuff, it creates a lot of fear because it's 100 or 1,000 over years of you know system of
Yes.
controls, right? So we have to transit now. There could be more controls that will try to control the where the flow of money goes, but again, we have to move forward. And today, last time, especially myself and Manish, we are in the IT. It takes 6 months for a new technology, so there's always this constant learning. Today, it's less than a week. Is
It's a, I'm sorry. Please wait. You just got me excited. Please continue.
the reiteration of technology is so rapid today that we are in this machine of constant learning and trying to navigate through this web of and then when we come to projects like this, I mean, just trying to circle back to Titan. It's so simplified. I just have to buy and hold it and let it do its work.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm sorry, Manish, please.
yeah, no, it's not like something that you have to go buy it, create a liquidity pool, then stake it, go and watch it
Right.
every day. There's
Right.
nothing like that here, right? You just buy it, hold it every day. You just watch your wallet, like how you're seeing your wallet, right? The traditional wallet. You have a digital wallet. You see how much money you have it in your wallet. So
Right.
easy and so simple is that.
Thank you, guys. As I said, the developers, the team here, these guys are brilliant. I want to say two things.
Yeah, please.
In closing, one is one of the things that I'm really encouraged and excited about with the crypto space is that by the time the regulators get through all their red tape and have all their meetings, and now we're going to do something, the crypto industry is gone. They're already onto something completely new.
Exactly.
So that's one thing we have in our favor. Oh, you guys want to legislate that? Well, guess what? We don't even do that anymore. Now we do it this way, right? So that's the other thing. The second thing is, what is the future of Titano? What are we doing? What do we see? And here's what's interesting. As I mentioned earlier, Titano is going to build an ecosystem, an economy, right? This is the goal of all crypto. This is
Right.
when you talk about Charles Hoskinson, he wants to build an economy. Well, so does Titano. And the economy consists of, as a first piece, this amazing token.
Right.
Now, with this token as the foundation of the economy, think about it, guys. I'll give you one little tidbit. So everyone's talking about the metaverse,
Right.
And the metaverse is supposed to be this amazing place where everybody comes and they spend all their time. By the way, I have kids and I have Oculus VR, so I'm in the metaverse all the time. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not as entertaining as people make it out to be, but there we go. It's fun. So, but what people don't tell you about, so you go to the metaverse, you buy a piece of land, you buy a car, you buy a taxi
Right.
that you can actually use, you buy a coffee shop and you can sell virtual coffee to people and blah, 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 and make real money. I get it. But what about everybody else? What about all the people that are just there? Titano's in a position to create a metaverse. Now, you've heard of play to earn.
Yes.
What about participate to earn?
Wow.
Just be there.
Wow, guys.
This is what I talk about with transformation. So in that, so in that Titano economy, right, we create all of these different pieces with one of the foundational pieces being the token. Now, let me tell you what will happen, right? If everything goes well, we'll get 100,000, 200,000 wallet addresses. Now think about this, guys. What we then have is our own block. What my hope is that we can then take that to on-chain partners and off-chain partners.
Right.
Imagine, guys, I could take 100,000 Titans to Amazon.
Right.
And say to Amazon, we want to, as a block, negotiate with you. And the token will pay the benefit. So now what we do is that benefit that we get from Amazon, that goes into our treasury.
Right.
So now it's taking some of the weight off the protocol.
Right.
See,
Right.
the protocol and the token itself ends up being an element that we could bring into any relationship, get
Yes.
value for it for the Titans, and then put it into the treasury.
Right. And I
So
think
that's what we're creating. That's what
Yeah.
we're creating, an economy, not just one project, but you'll see a series of projects that come out that create an entire Titano economy.
Right, and that's what it's supposed to have been, right? Web 3.0, we had to be participating in a network, a project that we believe in, and that project has to have the ability to scale, to go off
That's
chain
correct.
and integrate with other networks to create the entire universe, right?
That's
Security,
absolutely
scalability, and integrations. Yeah.
That's absolutely right. So Web 3.0, we're doing that already, right? We're doing that. We're creating the foundation, and different companies will have different organizations will have different
Right.
approaches. Some will fit elegantly with what we're doing, and then we'll partner with them. Hey guys, we
Right.
can offer this, or we can offer this. We can offer a token that offers all of your users this type of an APY consistently. Wow, that's interesting. Well, we can offer you a metaverse, and we can offer you this, and we can offer you that, and we can offer you, discounts at here and here and here, and going on vacations and all these things. This is what the larger vision can be.
Wow.
So that's what people should look forward to. And as I said, what's critical is for people to understand that this is a real company. We are innovating and we're developing. We're not standing on anything. We're not holding on to, okay, we're there. Let's just sit back and see what happens. Every single day innovation is happening. It's at the core of the business.
Wow, and I can really get that from you, the way you speak, David. I can get that sense. I hope you guys are watching this. You can also feel that. If you do comment in the section below and let us know, and also join the Telegram group. Great community. We really love the Titans. David, I want to say thank you for this hour of your time. I really feel we have to do this second time, maybe after V2, maybe sometime in the future, 6 months down the road, we should do another connect and see how things are doing. But we will remain, I think, offline. I will chat with you. Thank you for your time. Manish, you have
Thanks,
anything to say?
David. Thanks for your time. It was amazing session, and then a lot of thoughts we come across. And I always remember your story of the horse. I'm gonna remember it lifelong.
Yeah.
Guys, it is an absolute pleasure. And as I said, we Titano, we want to support what you guys are doing. Education is important. Providing access to people is important, and showing people, this is your project. Like I say, in that economy I talk about, what we want people to see is that, this is your economy. So you support it. So similarly, we want to bring, as you guys have said, we've made entry into this economy as easy as possible.
Right.
So come on in, get involved, hang around a while, join our Telegram group, join us in Discord, see the conversation. We've got an amazing group of Titans. Things are growing fast. I sent you guys the numbers, how quickly we're growing, not just in terms of the token and the market cap and all those things, but also in the amount of people on social media who are saying, boy. And it's interesting, you see a lot of those videos, like the Jesse Echo video, that's completely unsolicited.
Right.
He just got involved, got in the community, and said, my gosh, what's going on here?
Right.
And there's something special going on, guys. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Wayne. You've said it several times. This is your community. Support it, right? Help us. If you have ideas that can help us, bring them. We want to hear it. And we're more excited than we could possibly put in words at how things are being received. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Continued success. Happy 2022.
Yes,
and absolutely. Whenever you need me to come back, I'm here.
Awesome. Thanks, David. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
All right. My pleasure, guys.
So guys, that's it. We have David for Titano, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time and same channel. Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys. See you tomorrow. Till then, take care.
Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock it tech. You want the chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch?